Ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Con Over coming to you with some more Company of Heroes 2 1v1 action. Now, unfortunately, didn't see it loading into this, I don't think, was kind of funny. Brosras has already selected his commanders, NKVD Rifle Disruption Tactics. The funny thing about that is, that's the only commander he brought into the play. So, not a lot of question for his opponent on what he's going to be playing here. Now, of course, Brosras up here in the north, this is Minsk Pocket. Brosras is, of course, playing the Soviets, a very, very appropriate decision under the circumstances. His opponent playing the Wehrmacht is going to be Burmie, and Burmie is bringing on in German mechanized doctrine. So it'll be kind of interesting to see. Will we see that early mechanized grenadier group, or will we just kind of see a very, very standard opening? I do not know. One thing about the late game of German mechanized doctrine, it peaks rather early in terms of command points. Having 9 command points is what, about 11, 12 minutes into the game with any kind of legitimate activity. I'm sure there's some out there who might disagree with me, but it could allow him to bring in some very powerful forces fairly early. But okay, going infantry company into 2 Grens. Are we going to see any kind of sniper play? Would not be a good idea, I don't think. Meanwhile, Brosras going into special rifle command and bringing in a sniper team. That's a rare one indeed. You don't often see snipers these days, but now he has that whole point-and-click bulletin in play. So while he might be bringing in some Maxim, he's definitely, of course, bringing in conscripts over that of penal troops. Could be very interesting to see that how good his micro is. Brosras is not a complete and total schlep when it comes to micro, but every now and again he does find himself getting caught out. Both players have already got their fuel into supply. And one thing that Brosras is now intimately aware of is the German decisions in terms of production. That very, very early passive radio intercept doing wonders for him. Western side of the map, though, we will see Grenadiers and Combat Engineers face on off. And in the challenge of the EAR squads, I believe those Grenadiers are going to do much better against those rather outgunned Soviet soldiers. Burmie, going for a ton of Grenadiers, a 4th squad, before the 245 mark, about. Brosras in his own time, instead, he's going to go for some penal troops, looks like, after all. And I always like this about the squad, about the Scout Sniper squad. They include women in there, and I appreciate that, because some of the deadliest marksmen in the entire Eastern Front were, in fact, women, female soldiers. So breaking the glass ceiling and shooting off a couple of heads here and there. We're going to see, though, on the eastern side, the Germans are forcing back the conscripts with really no work whatsoever, isolating all of the Soviet supply situation and really, really challenging very, very early on. Scout snipers, though, lining up, might be able to support a push down to the southern side of the map. But if he's going to be doing that, he better get it done soon, because his Grenadiers are going to play havoc with his early troops. Now remember, guys, this is the new patch, so that means that the penal troops might be able to bring in their PTRSs fairly soon, and those guys are quite brutal with those things. Infantry, light tank, doesn't matter what it is. Burmie, though, already getting himself up to battle phase 1, so I would not be surprised to see... Whoa, those guys are getting creamed. I would not be surprised to see those PTRSs being made a priority within the next couple of minutes. Grenadier squads getting outnumbered and getting pounded, just in terms of raw models. Geez, 2 squads of Grenadiers and 1 squad of penal troops, and still the penal troops are giving them a good run for their money. And here come conscripts in the meantime as well, so I do not relish the German position on the eastern side. What had been a very, very negative position for the Soviets has now turned into a position of strength, as 3 different squads of Grenadiers are getting pounded and sent back to base. Now, where's the last living squad? He's over here capturing this munitions point to the western side, and with the Light Mechanized Company coming out for Burmie, I suspect we will see... Oh, okay, oopsie. I thought he was bringing a 2nd squad of penal troops. No, only the 1. We're going to see those PTRSs pretty darn soon, I would say. I'll get in territory, duh. I was thinking to myself, why can't he call those in? It's like, duh, he's not actually in his own territory. Half-track coming out in the meantime for Burmese. That'd be kind of a good way to keep his infantry force on the field. However, With material like scout snipers just to kind of slowly bleed out the German position, that might not be the best long-term option. What's more, with AT grenades now also available to the Soviets, these guys are still not going to go in and upgrade those pretty soon, are they? The AT grenades are coming up to the Soviets, kind of wondering how well that half-track will even do under the circumstances. A very, very quick LMG coming out for one squad of Grenadiers. I'm going to see the Scout Sniper team. How many heads do they have? 4 already. And with the half-track pushing over here the eastern side, yikes, there's been a satchel charge that's attached itself to the half-track. That's a new satchel charge, mind you. And that's going to do a lot of damage to the half-track. Question is, will we see... Yeah, we're going to see an Urad conscript trying to rush on in, maybe get one last AT grenade on him. Penal troops, though, taking quite a pounding. Are they going to get away? They're going to lose their lives bravely. Nope, they're going to lose their lives. So first blood over to Burmie. Well, the conscripts finally get the last bit of damage and take out that early half-track. So will Burmie bring in maybe another 250 half-track? I don't know. That's definitely a possibility for him if he's... No, he's just going to build another one straight off the top of his resources. I would have waited for it to bring in the Grenadier squad as well. But, you know, he doesn't worry too much about getting that LMG, I suppose. In the meantime, Brosras has dropped down to 4 squads and now has a support in Compania, and unsurprisingly is going to bring in that Maxim to support his somewhat now lackluster troops. Now, has he been able to bring in medics? No, he's not, because he doesn't have the manpower for it. Germans, in the meantime, have not gotten any sort of their own medic bunker. But Brosras knows that his second half-track is on the map. The question is what he does about it. With the Germans pushing on in right now, looking to decap this fuel point, I think a slower play from Brosras might be the way to go about it. But he's losing tickets already, and he's down almost 50, almost 60 tickets. And going to be losing even more of them if he's not careful. Scout Sniper team, though, doing pretty well, kind of continuing to frustrate the German position. Eastern side of the map, we will see the Rock 3 armed flamethrower of Combat Engineer Squad is going to probably duck into this house, this little shack right here. No, they're trying to stay away, though, from this half-track, and not a bad idea on that one. This gun, in the meantime, going to be brought in by the Soviets, and this half-track just getting pushed away slightly, trying to slide up into the center part of the map and support this kind of abused Grenadier squads. AT grenade coming out, damaged engine on the half-track, and will it be a dead Grenadier squad as he retreats? No. But almost in the same place where the first one suffered, the second half-track takes a grenade. Conscripts have to get back over here to pick on these pioneers, I believe, but he's not doing it too quickly. Instead, we're going to see this Maxim do some pretty good work, taking out a model very, very quickly on these Grenadiers. And with a 222 coming forward, I think his Zisgun is very well placed to remove all the immediate threat from the German war machine. Rifle grenade going to do a ton of damage because of the milling about crew, dropping them to, what, about 10% health with 4 different models. So one shot or two, we're just going to see guy after guy drop. But a retreat right there, a good decision. One thing to note, though, Brosras has been pushed around. His resource supply, his resource situation has been terrible. As soon as he takes a position, either here or here, Burmie has been very, very active in taking these out. This position right here is very, very vulnerable in particular, as now the overload from the German war machine is going up onto the eastern edge of this map. On the western side, though, we'll see Pioneers are going to run afoul of 2 conscript squads. One of them half strength, but still 9 rifles firing, so an awful lot of shootiness. Going back across the teller mines in the meantime as well. Wow, 3 models dropping about the span of 15, 30, or 20 yards. This guy's got to get out of there now. No, they refuse to. In the meantime, though, this 222 is going to find himself getting hit by the Zisgun, I believe. No, not quite. Zisgun got 1 shot off and now is going to get forced back, I think, by these rather aggressive Grenadier squads. But no, Maxim comes in instead. Brosras really should invest, I would say, into a medic. Instead, he's invested into 2 tech structures, which is going to slow him down quite a bit. And there goes one of those conscript squads and retreat. But that's the last model right there. But going two tech buildings is a very, very brave and uncommon decision. Let me see one more shot to get rid of this Grenadier squad. No, he's going to get out alive. But 2 Maxims should be more than enough to carve up the current German army. Another rifle grenade. Watch it get picked off. No, not quite. But neither are they going to make it out unscathed. One group already pinned. The other one getting suppressed. So just a couple more steps to freedom. And there he goes. He makes it away safely. This gun is set up, though. If this infantry half-track comes any closer, he's going to get picked off. But there is that half-track situation. It allows these very, very abused German squads to come back to full strength. And as this Maxim desperately tries to turn around to pick on the charging Germans, they are getting hammered quite a bit. The second Ziscon coming on out. We're going to still see no medics still? Finally, at long last, more medics. One thing I do want to comment on before we get really too much further with this particular game is a 2 tier 1 build in terms of just technology. Both the Special Rifle Company and the Support Weapon Company can be very good in making your army very well rounded, but in a higher tier player, it's going to set you back quite a bit, as it will slow down your light vehicle production significantly. Yes, I'm not really counting this half-track as a legitimate light vehicle. Again, look, 190 manpower and 15 fuel, that thing is not going to last very long in combat, and it very rarely does. Rifle grenade keeps going out. That seems to be the only way that Burmie knows how to try to deal with these machine guns, is try to tank with one and then just push forward with another. But moving forward, we have one Ziscon set up here. No, he canceled the other one, going instead for a third Maxim. Maxim spam on Minsk Pocket could be rather good for him. But what is not going to be good for him is the fact that he keeps dropping tickets like crazy. He's got to do something about that. The Ziscon's very much out of position. Is he shifting on forward? No, he's not. Instead, we're going to see scout snipers covered, sort of, by this pushed up Maxim gun line. And finally, there we go. The Ziscon is charging on forwards here. To the west, we will see Grenz picking up a strategic point, but not going for the VP at all. I'm a little confused why he didn't decide to do that. And Ziscon, one more round. One more round takes out the 222, and that's already worth the investment paid for that gun. On the eastern side, we will see Burmese troops getting burned out by the combat engineers. In the west, conscripts are charging on forwards. I wouldn't be surprised to see a AT grenade going out onto this half-track. But no, nope. Instead, he's going to just kind of book it out of there. No, excuse me. He's going to rotate around and make sure his machine gun can't bring the charging infantry under fire. But important to note that at long last, the middle of the field belongs to the Soviets. And what's more, this pack is very out of position. First of all, no reason to build a pack if you don't know your opponent has actually got a light vehicle. And given the fact that you've now seen your units being sniped as well as Maxims, you know that his later game tech structure is going to be much slower. So he could have waited to build up packs for quite a bit of time. Conscripts charging on forwards. And going to get a nice grenade off. Damaged engine? Yep, damaged engine it is. And this Maxim's going to do a little bit of work, not that much really. But you know, chewing out a little bit of health here and there is always helpful. And this gun is going to try to get in and behind this half-track. I believe he's even going to be able to do so. That's going to be quite the coup. Now, the question is, where's he sighting it? No, he's sighting the wrong position. Of course, also these charging grenadiers are going to have quite a bit to say about that. 17 kills on them already, 15 minutes into this game, and they have 18 kills, excuse me. In the meantime, though, scout snipers continue their dance of death. Hopefully they don't walk over this Tellermine. That could be quite a big loss for the Russians. And I'm still not seeing any tech structures whatsoever from Brosras. I'm surprised by that. I'm very, very surprised indeed. Question is, can now the Soviets hold on to the munitions point over here to the east? They can. They have their fuel as well. Now, we're just continuing to see... Oh no, here comes a dead crew. I can almost guarantee that. There we go. And there goes a Maxim now up for grabs. Question is, the scout snipers team would be enough? to encourage the Grenadiers to move away? They can, at least for the time being. Dual Zis guns are in the area as well. So the question is... Nope, okay. This other Grenadier squad's going to charge on forwards and get rid of them. Now, tech structure. Build your tech structure, my friend. There we go. Tank Heavy Battalion Command coming on out. And this Maxim over here, this tertiary Maxim, has been able to suppress, but then force it gets retreated instead away. So the Germans have a machine gun now. The Soviets have 2. And the Wehrmacht is a fairly quick P4. No support armored corps. Indeed, he's gone up to battle phase 2, but he's not called in any support armored corps, no Sturmgeschütz, no nothing like that. And now this Panzer Command Tank is going to come into range of the Zis gun any second now. Nope, no firing? So shockingly enough, no fire. Okay, there we go, never mind. So he realizes he's in the wrong back at the neighborhood right now. Rounder 2, okay, number 2 comes in, and this gun still has a pretty good line of sight on him. There he goes, he's going to back away. So Tank Heavy Battalion Command has been forced out from the Russians. Like I say forced, but that's really a necessary evil to move on to the later stages of the game. In the west, we will see LMG Gren's probably going to carve up a good number against these conscripts. Might even drop another one before they get off to cover. Nope, there they go, they're good to go. No incendiary grenades still, nope, no Molotov cocktails, no nothing like that. Meanwhile, a little bit further to the south of them, Maxim's going to mix it on up. Ooh, and get destroyed by a rifle grenade, getting decrewed completely. And a very opportunistic T-70, a very late T-70 at that, is going to be made by the Soviets. Now, the Germans have taken 2 of the Maxims away from Brosras' forces here. And Brosras has decided to pop rapid conscription. So while his snipers might get picked on quite a bit here, ooh, never mind, guys. Here's going to be a small victory, I should think. A shot comes through, pounds into the rear of that half-track. One more shot should do it. Yep, there goes the half-track. Combat engineers getting some damage in return. They're taking some damage in return. And a charging command tank is going to find itself hammered quite a bit, I should think. Oh, never mind. There's no infantry support for these anti-tank guns. So maybe the short barrel might be more than enough to escape? To even take these guys out? I do not know. We have a rabbit on the field, though, as we're going to see instead a T-70 is here. Not going to be able to do anything more than really prick the armor. But prick it might be enough. One AT gun gets decrewed. One more shot, though. There goes the Panzer Command Tank, so that's gone. And I think this captured Zis gun's going to get taken out as well. Another Panzer Command Tank coming on in. One more model. 4 more years. There we go. Decrewed. So now Pack is charging on forward, which means that T-70 is going to have next to no effect whatsoever. Unless, of course, the Pack decides to turn around at the absolute last second. Interesting decision. We're seeing a lot of activity happening right around this area, and we're seeing this charging T-70 going to find itself picked off pretty darn quickly. There it goes, damaged engine. He gets crushed by a Faust, I believe, as well as a shot from the Pack, as well as a shot from the Panzer. So, massive, massive overkill. A couple of conscript squads coming on in for Brosras, and he desperately needs them right now. His veterancy is not looking good. An Su-76 replacing the second T-70. I think that's a better option. And the Germans are now just snuggled up right in the center part of this field. Pack doing some, Panzer getting some work against it, and this poor combat engineer squad's getting forced back under an incredible amount of firepower. 2 Maxims right there. Now, fear propaganda artillery. Where's it coming? Okay, so going to pin or suppress these guys. Got one of them retreating already. Going to pin. He's going to retreat. No. He just pinned instead. So these conscripts, I hope, are going to be charging on force to pick up this Zis gun. But no, instead, it looks like they're going to get hammered by these Grenadiers. These Grenadiers just doing crazy amounts of work. Brosras, under the effect of a triple cap, only has 2 models left in that squad. In the meantime, Burmie's going to use smoke bombs, dropping a lot of cover in the face of these charging forces. Conscript squad, though, charges on in, picks up the Zis gun to try to protect himself. And will he get picked off? It looks like the smoke is starting to work against the Germans for the moment, as this Maxim prevents these pioneers from shifting on in any further. And no, Soviets are being very aggressive here. And with the assistance of this Su-76, this Panzer command tank is being forced away. Shockingly enough, this thing really should be able to take out this tinier tormentor. But of course, when a mine happens instead, that is a nice trade for Burmie. As Brosras has no real counter to this for the immediate future. Pardon me, guys, I need to wet my whistle a little bit. 483 to 257. Taking a little quick look at veterancy. Wehrmacht has some decent veterancy. It's being threatening on the field. One squad of grenadiers at full vet. Two others at 2 stars. Soviets not the greatest, but then again not the worst either. It looks like we even see the Soviets taking all 3 VPs, decapping the right, taking the center, pushing out over here on the western side, and the Germans push back to their own base, have quite a bit of work to be done. Scout Sniper Squad, in the meantime, they're starting to pull off a couple of rounds here and there. Was it 19 kills I saw successfully? 31, wow, how did I think 19? Well, they're doing some good work already. 32 shots, 32 headshots there. Gonna get pushed back in the face of that negative attention. But a triple cap is exactly what Brosras needs. He's been down 200 tickets for almost at least a couple of minutes, and that's not an insignificant challenge to come back from. In the meantime, though, we will find out that the very, very brave Maxim is, first of all, facing the wrong way, and second of all, pinned completely, so it might be good for him to retreat. And Brosras deciding not to use his kind of, quick-firing light arty barrage in the area. Probably a good idea there. Save up instead for something like fear propaganda artillery. A strong challenge to any sort of massed infantry push. For some reason, Brosras is bringing in a M5 half-track. Okie dokie. Not sure why. Curious decision indeed. Does that have to keep his own troops out in the field? I do not know. But this big push, again, causing a lot of issues for Brosras. The captured Maxims doing a ton of work for the fatherland. Snipers getting forced back delicately here and there. And I believe lots of reinforcement happening like crazy. Okay. He's using it to reinforce his AT guns. And there it is. Here's the pure propaganda artillery. Pinning them both, at least. And giving an opportunity, I would say, for these concepts to shift on forwards. And doing a little bit of pressure here. The Germans have regained 2 of the VPs, though, so even though there's a brief shining moment for the Soviets, that has now been completely and totally smothered by the charging German threat. To the west, we'll see this little mutually supporting Panzer Command Tank and Grenadier Squad kind of picking up a couple of territories here and there, and for some reason not fully capping out the center VP. All mainline infantry for the Germans has picked up its secondary weapons here. LMGs on every single one of these Grenadier squads. Hazard removal kits on top of the Pioneers. And what do the Soviets have? I think dropping that early penal squad was a big, big hit, all things considered. And here we go. Okay, making out just before they get completely pinned. That's a lucky bit of material there. We're also seeing the Soviets, though, charging on in, looking to take some of this, looks like, points from behind the German front line and cut off a good chunk of their resource generation. Really interesting thing to note real quick, though, is that even if they take this one spot here, the Germans still control all of this around the map. It's kind of a devastating point to realize. But Grenadiers shifting on in, realizing it's probably not a good idea to charge on forwards without any support, and properly chasing, they back away. And 24 minutes into this game, a Wehrmacht player has finally gone to Battle Phase 3. He had a pretty good chunk of fuel that he's not been utilizing. I kind of wondering why he hasn't done it either sooner or more efficiently. We'll see these Grenadiers have been able to Faust the back end of this half-track, damaging the engine, and they're just carving through all the models on top of these anti-tank guns. But even take out that last one, and another Faust coming on through. Half-track not being able to suppress or anything like that to these poor guys. So Brosras just falling back in disarray. He's got no points on the field anymore, and very much in the danger of falling to a triple cap. Heck, he's in very much danger of not holding any positions on the map. Luckily for him, there's been no close the pocket or something like that as an opportunity for Burmie. If there had been, I sincerely doubt we'd have any Soviet troops left on that map. And now with a prowling Panzer command tank, which I never thought I would say, this thing is not known for its damage potential. Soviets have not made any significant decisions to counteract this kind of, honestly, fairly light vehicle presence. Well, it's in the eastern side of the map. Oh, I didn't realize until right now, honestly, there's no combat engineers for the Soviets at all. So that rock through flamethrower, well, he's flamed out. And now Burmie's got doubled up on his pioneer squads. So all we're seeing instead is the constant stream of dead Soviets and the final, small survivors being forced back to base. Maxim's doing their best, though, to entertain Germans at range. And Burmie, though, keeping excellent eye on his troops, even though he's going down to 2 models, 1 model, he should be able to make it away, I think. There he goes. He makes it back. Okay. No combat engineers. That means no more teching. It's not immediately. And Burmie's got a tier advantage on him. That's no bueno. And he's putting up his heavy Panzer Corps as well. So we could see ourselves a Panther? I do not know. But for some reason, Brosras is calling in a T-70. So a brave decision, if it seems somewhat foolhardy in the meantime. Grenadiers were going to go try to throw down a rifle grenade, but getting suppressed just before that opportunity presented itself. 441 to 164. Soviets are down an incredible amount, and I don't know how they're going to get back into this. Well, besides putting something a little bit more worthwhile than a freaking T-70. But you know what? Brosras is brave, he is bold, and that's exactly what he's trying to do here, I think. What we will see in the meantime, though, is these conscripts getting drubbed by every single grenadier squad known to the fatherland. But being around the edge of this building might be enough. No, never mind. It's a half-track right there. And now a Panzerwerfer coming out from Burmie. So, rather underpowered in the meantime, but still able to do damage if given the opportunity. Conscripts trying to hold strong against this Panzer command tank as well as these pioneers. And shockingly, I don't think they'll be able to. Getting carved to pieces. Back away, my friend. Run. Run as fast as you can. Scout sniper team rushing away, no pun intended. And now, though, this Panzer command tank is probably going to buy it, though. A couple of rear armor hits already. And there he goes. He goes down. So Panzerwerfer is on the field, which means those gun positions have a little bit to worry about. And I don't know if that somehow actually brings Brosras back into this. That'd be kind of shocking for me. There's still a pack on the field for Burmie, as well as all the opportunities for things like, Panzerfausts. But a light tank might be enough to stymie the immediate German ambitions. Now, if the Russians can just honestly get a hold on these 2 sectors, these 3 sectors, keep this entire corner red, he might have a chance. I don't know for sure. I don't want to say for sure. Also going to see a Maxim coming in and around. Nope, not really focusing on the pack. Instead, trying to pick on... What? Okay. Rushing away even before they come under fire. Interesting tactic. But alrighty. Brosras has 1 damaged T-70. He's got 1 damaged half-track. And now that one of these guys has a self-repair anymore. So that's a big issue right there. Maybe using recon mode to kind of saddle around and pick up these spots right here might be a good plan. I don't know for sure. And he's not ever really called in any kind of recon overflight. Kind of hard to really do that when you have no munitions. But he's looking to remedy that right now, it looks like. In the west, in the meantime, we are going to see a sandbag fighting position coming up from conscripts that they're just kind of staking their claim. And a grenadier squad charging onto the front, and another conscript squad coming on in. So, unique decisions coming out from Brosras all the way across. Yes, they might have more range, but you have more firepower if you used it. Burmie not going to bring in another command tank for another minute or so until he can bring get the manpower up to snuff. Meanwhile, on the western side, shockingly enough, these conscripts are holding their own against these grenadiers. Oh, that's why. Because fully vetted up against only vanilla grenadiers. Rifle grenade indeed not even doing much damage. And we're going to see these grenadiers are charging on forwards and getting carved to pieces whenever they do. So, could this be a resurgent Soviet group? I don't know. I do not know. What we'll see is a soft retreat for these grenadiers as they try to just back up, reinforce themselves, and come back for another go. I'm hearing a lot of... That's what it is, okay. So Panzer firing off and taking out an entire machine gun crew on its first go. Something that almost never happens, it feels like. Packs, in the meantime, sidling on forwards, not doing too much. And the Maxims captured. Keep a good eye on the overall German position. But at long last, the Soviets do have a 2-to-1 cap. The question is, nope, Grenadier's not going to pick up that machine gun. Good decision right there. Those guys have an incredible amount of experience. It would not make sense for that to happen. Fear propaganda artillery. Is it coming down on the Maxims? No, just keeping away. Just looking to keep away. There's Grenadiers from his machine gun. Curious decisions galore. And finally, at long last, nope, never mind. I thought we were going to see an actual Tier 4 structure for Brosras, but no. Mechanized Armor Compania. Instead, we just see another advanced machine gun from the west, from Burmie, and a position that gets a little bit more and more hopeless from this poor conscript squad over here to the east. Maxim wasn't even inside one of these buildings. I'm not entirely sure what happened to it. Did he get forced back to retreat? Not quite. Okay, well, there's your non-answer. A second T-70 has come out in the map, or maybe a third T-70, because I think the first one already bought it. Yep, so we have 2 and 3 on the map right now. And again, against anything else but this Panzer command tank, well, when anything, frankly, from the Tier 4 German armament, this might be worthwhile. I would like to see instead, though, something like a Su-76. But hey, what can you do? Scout Sniper Team's going to run afoul of this half-track, and here comes a T-70. This is the perfect time to charge on forwards, do some damage to him. Hounds him to death. This gun's doing some work, and here comes Penta Perfect Barrage. And as good as the first one was, the second one's a little bit more lackluster. And the half-track, though, does manage to limp away from the vicious T-70 and its Zis gun ally. Taking a look at veterancy real quick to see how things have been progressing, we are going to see the Germans continue to march on forwards with their own, not veterancy issues, but with their own veterancy sources. Meanwhile, the Soviets looking a little bit skimpy. We got 2 fully vetted up squads, and both Zis guns have a little bit more. And I believe Burmie's going to make it an awfully advanced machine. Is this going to be a machine gun bunker? That'd be a very, very strange decision, but yep, it sure is. Meanwhile, over on the eastern side of the map, we will see a couple of teller mines coming out for Burmese troops, looking to make sure that those tanks don't swing around wide on a flanking mission. Now, Brosras needs to really be thinking of something quick, because right now he's just bleeding out, and he's not really doing a whole lot to do anything about it. And there we go. So the T-70 must know that there's something there. No, he's not. He's just putting rounds instead onto that captured Maxim. But one last round doesn't quite manage to do anything about it, instead hitting the sandbags twice in a row. Meanwhile, the western one comes under fire from this very vetted up squad of Grenadiers, But the Panzerfaust managed to delay its progress quite significantly. P4 charging on forwards. The question is, T-70 has somehow skipped around this mine, and AT grenade number 1 has come through, and we'll see a second one. Well, it's already happened, apparently. This T-70 sliding over here to the eastern side and discovering S minefields, so doing a little bit of mine diffusing all on his own by accident. Might be able to annoy this Panzer Command Tank to death, though. We'll see how that goes. Oh no, it's going to be a recon capture. As here come the conscripts trying to throw another round of grenades, I dare say. Okie dokie. Well, not going to happen there. Well, another round of grenades coming on in. T-70 is going to give his life to cap out this point. Oh no, he's not. He's going to make it away. Just barely? Really? Wow. That's a surprise. I didn't see that one coming. Conscripts in the meantime doing their thing, kind of just taking some losses here and there, soaking up casualties, and not quite able to throw a third round, excuse me, of AT grenades. Might be better for these guys to back up pretty darn soon. They're taking a lot of losses here. Su-76 is on the field though, so maybe we're going to see a charge from these various German positions? I don't know. What we are going to see is M5 half-track's going to go down, I imagine. This pack's got one more shot, and I'm sure as Maxim pinning these pioneers in place. Of the Su-76, where is that bad boy? He's coming on forwards. He hasn't run across another... not come across another minefield. Another mine, rather. Another Teller mine. And the M5 has gone down, but so is the Panzer IV. And another one gets called in immediately as the Su-76 starts coming after this half-track. The half-track's got to book it immediately. One more round. Never mind, he goes down as well. And the question is now, this guy back across this mine? No, he misses it barely as well, so lucky enough for him. We're going to probably see these guys get pinned or suppressed. Anything like that really should be excellent for the Soviets. Retreating is very good, though, for him as well. Now, I'm continuing to wonder, why the heck are we not seeing any teching up? Instead, we're just seeing consistent investment into these light vehicles. Indeed, I'm surprised that the Soviets are even still in this game. 361 to 84, they have a little bit more than 1/5 of the tickets open to them. But they do not really have any reason to be in this game. The third P4 command tank coming onto the map now. Kind of interesting to note where all these guys have been dying as well. So one half-track dying in the center part of the map. T-70 was over here? I could not say for sure. Okay, so T-70 just went down. Question is where? Okay, so he found the mine that was meant for the Su-76. And this gun's fairly far forwards, I would say. Where's the 3 Model 1? Okay, he's backing up slowly, trying to pick up some health, I would say. Alright. But this captured machine gun finally goes down. Su-76 getting his final vengeance. Remember, guys, this thing should be getting a little bit of a munitions cost, but for some reason I'm not seeing it on this one. Okie dokie. Maybe I missed a memo. In the meantime, a very, very worn Maxim is forced away. As, again, the Panzerwerfer is the middle part of the map. 30 kills. I can't believe I'm not catching any of these barrages. I'm so used to this thing being completely and totally worthless. At 39 minutes in, the Soviets refuse to give up. Combat engineers rushing on forwards, looking to take the middle VP, and not going to be able to do so. Fear propaganda artillery coming in again on these Maxims. Yep, pin them out of cover immediately. As well as these Pioneers. Significant indeed. Pack 40s, though, can't even shift on forwards without getting some kind of support. Meanwhile, in the west, Grenadiers seizing this eastern VP. Now, I'm not suggesting we're going... Oh my gosh, here it comes. Here it comes. Any second. Oh my... And he's calling it perfectly. Perfect barrage. Pounding those Zis guns. Decrews one of them. That's a pretty vetted up squad unto itself. leaving the other one with just a skimpy 2 models left. But devastating the Soviet anti-tank presence on this map. And I'm wondering if Burmie's just trying to be nice over here. He should be making another P4, he should be making a Panther, he should be making something. And there's the Panther to close it out. Okay. So Soviets definitely pushing and threatening a lot of control on this map. But the Germans, despite being a fairly immobile presence during most of this game, we're going to be seeing what looks like probably and finally a German victory. Forgive me guys for not seeing how many kills that sniper team ended up with. They fell that a little while ago. It's unfortunate, but it happens every now and again. Some more fear propaganda artillery, and a billion years later we finally are going to see a mechanized armor compania. It's only taken him 45 minutes to make it, 41 minutes to make it. Yep, and this is one of the first squads of Grenadiers. Looks like he's got 44 kills to his name. And the question is, will this pack gun be able to escape? Yes, it looks like he will. That Panzerwerfer barrage saves his troops at the absolute last second. T-70 to the west, in the meantime, trying to entertain these Grenadiers, manages to do so, forcing them back. But now this metal beast is on the field, and a T-70, an Su-76, and a T-34-76 is not going to be enough. Neither will having a barely alive Zus gun. Bringing in another barely alive Zus gun might be enough to entertain, but not easily. In the meantime, we will see this Maxim crew is going to come under fire from the Panther, who's going to do some good work against it. And it's going to get hammered immediately by that Zus gun at range. Su-85, I'm not sure that's even the best choice either, because now this Panther can just kind of scoot around all the fairly immobile armor presence that exists for the Soviet forces here. And 42 minutes in, shockingly, I did not expect this at all. We are going to see ourselves a triple cap, though, for the Soviets. It might be the last gasp, though, of a dying man. I could not say for sure. As this gun deploys over here to the eastern side, 2 stars of veterancy to his name, not quite able to take on any of these presences by himself. And merciful Minerva, I believe this Maxim might even get taken out if he's not careful. There we go, he's going to back away. Su-85 coming onto the map, and that Maxim making it out with that last couple of models there. So here is what the Soviets have to work with. 2 anti-tank guns, a committed tank destroyer, a damaged engine on this Panther, and an assault gun. So we're going to see charge at all from the Soviet positions. Fear propaganda artillery on the middle part of the map, I'm sure. Su-76 continuing to pound that Panther. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Well, the Su-85 is coming on through. But this could get fairly easily Fausted. Smoke bombs coming in. That's a lucky thing right there for this Panther. But now beginning to work against him. One more round might do it. 1 Faust comes through, 2 Faust come through, damaged engine on 1, but there goes the Panther. So guys, never mind, we might have ourselves a game. 2-to-1 cap out for the Germans, 279 to 62. Question is, can the Germans be taken out from these strong positions? And the immediate answer to that seems to be not quite. However, the Su-76 could turn and start pouring rounds into these garrisons whenever he wants to do so. Charging Panzer Command Tank, doing some work against this Su-85. Let's go down. Rear armor hits again. And this infantry cannon doing just enough. A couple of rounds being shot into the back of this Panzer IV. Su-85 nearly crippled. And the Panzerwerfer barrage is going to just devastate the Zus guns. Taking out 1 immediately. The other one just getting out-rotated. Su-85 going to be taken out as well as the last Panzerfaust comes on through. Anti-tank grenade coming out. It's just a desperate fight. 44 minutes and 45 seconds in. I believe that we might see the death of... that there's a main gun destroyed on the Panzer IV. Attack ground, my friend. Attack ground and you might get your final victory. I do not know if that will be the case. This gun coming out of the smoke, as its target comes up right next to it. This Maxim pouring fire into the rear end of this Grenadier squad, and this is the end of the enemy armor, leaving Burmie only with that Panzerwerfer, which, trust me, has a ton of kills. 46 kills on it already, and a super, super quick cooldown between them. And Conscript's going to be charging through a minefield. Not going to be great for them. Now, Su-76 managing to do a little bit of diffusing. And charging on in from both Pioneers and Grenadier squads. Now, eastern side, we are going to see it's one T-70 against a now dead machine gun crew, and a T-34-76 being called in. And could this be the case? Could this be Brosras pulling this out at the absolute last second? A PaK-40 coming onto the field, but again, immobility is not the way to win if you are a German. It seems so... I don't even know what I couldn't even tell you 100% what this feels like, but this is a seesawy game back and forth, 261 to 59, and it looks like it's going to be a Soviet pickup over here to the eastern side of the map. Pick up this MG as well. I would do that and stick him right back in here. That's just me, though. Meantime, Panzerwerfer kind of creeping on forwards. The question is, one, where are these Tyler mines going out? And that's right on the hill right here. And the T-34-76 on the field, though, Germans don't have anything. A little bit longer to get the command tank. Way longer to call in either one of these monsters. And a T-70 is just kind of trooping on through. Now, if I were he, I'd be trying to take out this anti-tank gun immediately. Just blow it up. Don't need it. Don't want it. There we go. He's going to take it. He might be able to take it out in time. One thing about the T-70, it's got a super quick rate of fire. It's always a very, very interesting thing about the actual gun, considering the gun was only the tank was only ever crewed by 2 men. Command tank coming on through, another Grenadier squad, though, getting picked off as this PaK-40 gets recrewed, and my guess is maybe even be able... Nope, he makes it away. I was wrong there. I thought he was going to get taken out, but no, he escapes to fight another day. In the western side of the map, we are going to see Grenadiers successfully, I think, decap this position, even as the Soviets decap the center part of the map. Now, we're going to see suppression, we're going to see a pin, I don't know. I do not know at all, but a Panzer IV command tank, again, coming to the eastern side of the map, looking to allow this PaK-40 an opportunity to pick up the middle, this should be the eastern VP. So looking over here, I saw the middle VP didn't have anybody on it. It seems that Brosras has not pushed the final effort here, and indeed this gun is just barely out of the zone to cap anything whatsoever. Meanwhile, T-70 just throwing rounds downrange, trying to go and frustrate any kind of Grenadier push. And what happened, a fairly vetted up German army has now been crushed quite a bit. Another T-34-76 coming on in, and Brosras might have pulled it out after all, so maybe throwing down an IL-2, maybe over the middle of the field. Or just being a jerk of throwing it down way the heck back here, trying to pick off that Panzerwerfer. That could be what seals the deal for him. Pioneer squads getting hit by MG fire. In the meantime, Su-76 proving to be the star of this show. How many kills does he have? He's got 3 vehicles to his name. This PaK-40 might be enough to take him out? No. No line of sight. Pioneers looking to just kind of hold on just long enough, and I think he might have done it. Here comes the IL-2 strike. Any kind of push on top of this Panzerwerfer is the question. No, not managing to do so. Instead it goes after the PaK-40. That's lucky right there for the Germans. Had that gone after the Panzerwerfer, he might as well just called it quits. Alrighty though. And with that, I think we will see a Soviet victory. Su-76 is charging on in, might get creamed. There goes a Panzerfaust. And a rotation by this PaK-gun looking to bring this brave assault gun under any kind of fire, and there it is. That's going to be it for that poor Poor Su-76. That guy was a boss, though. IL-2, in the meantime, has caused just enough air cover so that this Pak-40 gets taken out. And I believe these Su-70, excuse me, T-34-76s are going to be able... Yep, there goes the Panzer Command Tank. And there's going to be one final FU barrage, I think, coming out of Burmese troops. Very little left, though, and I think one burst of fire will be enough to send him to the heap. And yep, that's it. Burmie calls it quits. He's been replaced by AI, so at 50 minutes and 27 seconds. Brosras pulls out the impossible comeback. Well played to him. We are going to see, unfortunately, a little bit of a graphical bug here. But well played to Brosras. The end score 158 to 59. The Soviets with the 59 pulling out the victory. And Burmie misplaying, I think, a little bit and calling in his heavy vehicles far too late. Brosras also kind of misplaying as well. So at least both guys evening themselves out with misplaying and allowing Brosras to take the big W at the end of it all. Thank you folks for so much for tuning in. I just want to say real quick, I have... kind of funny, I asked for 1,000 subscribers from you guys, and in a day and a half or so, it jumped like 15. So guys, if that's what I have to do to make sure you guys keep subscribing, come on, keep spamming that subscribe, keep spamming the like button, spread the word. Thank you so much for all the support you show this channel. I will see you all soon, whether it be Company of Heroes, Dawn of War 3, or something else entirely. I will see you on another day. Have a good one, everybody. This is Connor, we're signing off.